Noam Chomsky is known for his critiques of American foreign policy, corporate power, and media manipulation, and he often highlights the challenges faced by dissidents in the United States. One of Chomsky's central arguments is that dissent and critical thinking are essential components of a healthy democracy. He believes that citizens have a responsibility to challenge authority and question the actions of their government. However, Chomsky also emphasizes that dissent is often marginalized and suppressed by those in power. Now off to this wonderful clip of Noam Chomsky.
Let me ask you another question. It's a good one to think about. Suppose you were in Russia and you were criticizing Russian crimes. How do you think what do you think the reaction would be? No, don't have to tell you. In fact, that's historically true. You look back at the whole history of the world. Let's go back to classical antiquity, the Bible. There were people who were critics, like Socrates in Athens. He was sentenced to death for corrupting the youth of Athens by asking critical questions. That's Athens. What about the Bible? Sure, you've all studied the Bible. There's a group of people called prophets. They weren't prophets. That's a bad translation of an obscure Hebrew word. They were basically dissident intellectuals. They were people who were criticizing the king's crimes, warning about the dangers that the king's policies were going to cause, calling for mercy to widows and orphans. That's basically what we call dissident intellectuals. How were they treated? Were they treated nicely? No, they were imprisoned, driven into the desert, bitterly denounced. There were people who were honored at the time. Centuries later, they were called false prophets. Actually, Jesus was one of them. He was a radical critic of power. Was he treated nicely? Not according to what I've read. This runs right through history. And that's the answer to your question. Criticize the pieties of the powerful. They're not going to like it. They'll launch criticisms. Take the prophets again. Elijah, major prophet, was condemned by King Ahab. You may recall Ahab is the epitome of evil in the Bible. King Ahab called Elijah to him and asked him, "Why are you a hater of Israel? Why are you unpatriotic? Because you're daring to criticize the king and his crimes." Is that any different from what you're describing now? Not really. Runs through all of history.
Chomsky has also criticized what he sees as the limited spectrum of acceptable political discourse in mainstream media and academia. He argues that powerful interests, including corporations and the government, shape public opinion and suppress dissenting voices. Chomsky refers to this phenomenon as manufacturing consent, where the media disseminate information that serves the interests of the elite while marginalizing alternative perspectives. Well, I hope you liked the video and give the channel a subscribe. You can join the channel if you wish to be a member. Also, I would like to do some Noam Chomsky merchandise if the channel hits 50,000 subscribers. Now, take care and bye-bye.